here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
You know, I don't know. You know, I'm sure Shane and Daboll don't really give a two flaming flying hootin' tootin' FUs, you know, about what he winds up saying here and all that and everything. But now, to be fair, it's not like Waller was a free agent and hey, I want to come to New York, like their offense, like what they do, like this, that, but you know what I mean. So I can't remember. It's one of these articles I got here talks like he was on a podcast or something like that, and I guess he wasn't very happy about just being in the backfield and maybe blocking, but he did that a lot in college. I don't know. Once again, so you know, I guess maybe when he was with the Raiders, right? I guess maybe they didn't ask him to do much of that at all. Maybe they say, "All right, Darren, you're gonna be on the line of scrimmage. Maybe I'll ask you to block him." Linebacker or an edge or something every now and then. Other than that, he's going to be running past pattern. Maybe that's what he wanted. I don't know, but probably wasn't very happy. He was like being like a fullback, and he wasn't very happy about that. And then so I guess apparently, all last season, pretty much, Waller was, it was kind of like General Hospital last year. Well, is Waller, is he going to retire? Is he going to come back? Giants are giving him space. Maybe he wants to come back. Yeah, so I guess maybe, he knew he was retiring. I guess maybe the Giants knew he was retiring. But once again, you'll never find that stuff out, I guess. But so apparently, in the middle of a game last season, Mr. Waller decided he was going to retire at the end of the season. So, got to give him some credit there. He didn't just walk out on the team. Said about 2 hours before tight end Darren Waller tried to make a game-winning walk-off touchdown catch for the Giants, he decided to retire at the end of the season. Now, I got to give him credit for what he did wind up saying was, he's kind of like, what the am I doing? I guess he was in the backfield. I'm going to read this post, and I guess he was doing like being a fullback. So he said, I guess he was on the sideline or whatever. He was like, what am I, that's all. I'm retiring. But he did say something along the lines, I'm going to give it my best this rest of the season, but after the season, that's it. So. Waller, who officially announced his retirement in June last year, said he made up his mind about 8 months earlier while playing against the Bills on October 15, 2023. It was the first quarter of the game, Waller said, on the Side You Don't See podcast. We were running like this counter lead play, and I'm kind of like leading through the hole like I'm a fullback. Okay. And the play is working, but I sit down on the sidelines after a drive where we ran it like 3 times, and I'm like, what the boop am I doing with my life? Okay. I'm out here playing fullback. I don't think you were playing fullback 99% of the game, so I don't know. So I guess if you put him in a fullback, makes him going to want to retire. Okay. Said, I'm out here playing fullback. I don't even want to do this SH blank anymore. All right. Game ended in 14-9 loss for the Giants when Tyrod Taylor's pass to Waller from the 1-yard line fell incomplete. Well, let's also not forget, right, fell incomplete, but that was the game where, at the end, I guess it was the end of the first half, right? I think there was a pass play on. Tyrod switched it to a running play. Problem was, if the running play doesn't get into the end zone for a touchdown, run out of time. Halftime. Giants score no points. So what happens? Changes it to a running play. We get stopped short, run out of time. Halftime, Giants get no points. Now we kick 3 points there. Maybe. It's that butterfly effect. You don't know. I mean, because they kicked 3 points at the end of the half. I mean, they got down, right, to the goal line. I mean, because that was a big game for Daboll, right? Shane and Daboll. The guys actually rallied. You know what I mean? They played in Buffalo, right? Prime time, Buffalo, right? Buffalo's a better team, but we could have won. Well, it was one of those games we could have won, right? Now we got that down toward the goal line at the end of the game. Now, once again, it's the butterfly effect. If they kicked the field goal there, you don't know for sure that there would have been 14-12, right then. You don't know. But if it was, we got down there, we wouldn't have had to score a touchdown at the end. We could have just kicked the field goal. We might have won that game. The Giants wanted a penalty flag, which, looked like it could have been called, But, also, I can't remember who. It was Darren Waller, who the heck it was. We were playing, once again, I don't remember if it was the Commanders, the WTFs, the WFTs, the Washington Red, whatever it was. It was a couple years ago. It was on, it might have been Sunday night, or there was one of those games. The Commanders drew a pass in the end zone, and it was 4th down. And whoever, I think it was Darnay Holmes, might have been, was like literally raping the guy. He did everything but have the guy's pants down. He was all over him. The ball fell incomplete, and the refs were like, oh, incomplete. Should have been a flag. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That should have been a pass interference, something, holding something on Buffalo in the end zone there. In the long run, right, the Giants scored a touchdown, got a penalty, scored a touchdown there. We got an extra win, slides us back down the draft board. Maybe we don't get Malik Neighbors. So in the long run, maybe that worked out for the best for the Giants. Like all the 342,000 games we lost, the one-score games we lost last season, right? We wound up with Abdul Carter. Russ, well, apparently he's looking pretty good. Yeah, he's got that deep ball going. Right, I'm gonna talk a little bit about him, about something that he doesn't do very well, but so far he's been doing pretty good. Slayton said his deep balls are very nice. So, but it's only OTAs. There's no contact. There's none of that. So, when everybody comes back toward the end of July, that's when the pads are going to start going on, and that's when there'll be, contact and holding and all that kind of stuff. And we'll have to wait and see. One thing I do like is I haven't heard the I word. Haven't heard, so-and-so ran down the sideline and got injured. He went up for a pass, came down, and looked like he twisted his ankle. Maybe he got injured. I haven't heard that. So, let us pray. I haven't heard that. So that's a good thing. Let's see. The Giants won a penalty, but that would have made 2 in a row since they were already playing on an untimed down after a defensive pass interference penalty moved the ball to the 1. Now, Waller saying, I'm just like looking at the moon, Waller said. It's like early first quarter, second quarter. Nobody else would have even really known that I'm thinking this, but I'm on the sideline like, yep, I'm going to finish this year to the best of my ability. You got to give him a lot of credit there, right? But I'm definitely done playing after this year. Waller's only touchdown with the Giants came the next week against Washington. But Waller missed 5 games later that season with both a hamstring injury and when he was hospitalized after what he described upon retirement as a near-death experience. He said he had trouble breathing and was shaking uncontrollably and losing consciousness in his hotel room. Waller came to the Giants after recovering drug and alcohol addiction, who had been suspended by the NFL for substance abuse earlier in his career. He always has been open about his journey to getting clean. The former Pro Bowler returned to play the final 4 games of the season and publicly deflected questions about his future. But he privately informed the Giants that he was considering retirement in January, as the Post previously reported. So he was contemplating it, but it didn't, I guess he didn't seem like he went to him in January and said, I'm retiring. So, but I guess in his mind, he'd already retired in that Buffalo game. The problem was that, is that, once again, lessons learned, right? Trading for a guy who's been injured, not so much guy, I mean, I don't know if anybody in the wildest dream would have said, oh, he might retire after 1 year but, we did trade a third-round pick for him. And I think we got we traded a third-round pick. And we got 12 games out of a third-round pick. 12 games out of a third-round pick who didn't want to be a fullback for a couple plays. Ooh, right? Because, we got Drew Phillips last year. Imagine if we got another Drew Phillips, right? Or somebody Eagle, right? I'm really anxious to see what Alexander's going to look like, right? So, past couple of drafts, once again, Alexander hasn't taken a snap yet, so I get it. But really be anxious to see, what he can do on the field. But gave up a third-round pick for Waller, and he played 12 games, and that was it. Wow. Let's see. Waller told the Post around that same time that he was still undecided. But the Giants drafted tight end Theo Johnson in April, and Waller's retirement soon followed. He is a podcaster and a burgeoning rapper in retirement. So that's not my cup of tea. I mean, I heard his one song he came out with, and then of course, he was I don't know, he was married for whatever, I don't know, 10 months or something like that. And then he's coming out with a song about his girl, apparently stabbing him in the back or something like that. And his video was basically all talking about her and how he got stabbed in the back. And so, I don't know. But I wish him nothing but the best. But unfortunately for the Giants, of course, the Giants, a third-round pick to get Darren Waller. I mean, when the GMs and everything, they're gold. They even like their the 6th and 7th round picks. I mean, those guys, a lot of those guys don't even make the team. But you give up a third-round pick. I mean, wow, for 12 games, man, that's a boo-boo.